So, my first question when writing the book proposal for the Unofficial Home Alone Cookbook was, how many foods actually are there in the movie? Answer, there are approximately 15-ish. Second question, how on earth am I supposed to create another 60? So, as promised, I'm going to jump us into the kitchen and I'm going to show you my brainstorming board of how I did my initial planning. Okay, so first natural step is you watch the movie and then you make notes. So I've got all the original foods right here. So in Home Alone, in no particular order, there is the lovely cheese pizza. There is the mac and cheese. There is the epic sundae. There's also a little bit of junk food, Pepsi, microwave turkey dinner, orange juice, Tic Tacs. There is the chocolate glazed donuts, the gingerbread house that's on the kitchen counter, cookies for Santa. There's also the shrimp cocktail, eggnog is mentioned, champagne on the plane, and popcorn. That still leaves another 60 that need to be inspired by the movie. So this is where you start seeing some of the color coding going on because I'm a visual person. So the orange represents the original foods, the yellow represents characters, blue is booby traps, and you've got the pink, those are scenes and iconic quotes. So that's the first layer, is making sure you've just got all the information in front of you so I can make sure I'm linking the key scenes and the characters to each recipe. That still leaves, what are the foods that you're going to tie to those scenes and those characters? So I could have gone one of two ways with this book. Home Alone is a Christmas movie, and while future generations are watching it, Home Alone came out in 1990. So if you were a kid of the 80s and 90s, this is basically your memory of childhood. So this is where I started putting my personal spin on the book. First, I'm a kid of the 80s and the 90s, but also I geek out over food history, and I wanted this to be a 90s time capsule for us. So I made a list of the foods that meant childhood for me. Now, I'm not saying that my mom and dad fed this to me all the time, but the excitement and the memory I have when I think of Kool-Aid, Dunkaroos, Pizza Pockets, Pop-Tarts, sugary breakfast cereals like Frosted Flakes, Fruit Loops, and Cocoa Pops. Those feelings and memories are what this book captures. It's not all junk food, but capturing the essence of childhood became the filter for me for this book. I also had done research, and there are foods like stuffed crust pizza that came out in the 90s, so you will see that in this book as well. At this point, I have a lot of colored Post-it notes flying around my house. So I'm like sticky note queen. If I have an idea, it is probably on a sticky note somewhere around here. So this is where you start seeing this layer of white papers on top. This is me trying to put it into some sort of order. It's a spreadsheet. I use Airtable. It helps me keep my thoughts organized, and I can toggle the view and not need to duplicate information. So it depends on what stage I was at. Basically, in it all went. Also, because I had parameters I needed to consider. So there are 6 chapters in this book, and each needed to be evenly balanced in terms of recipes. So I have got a column to break that down, the inspirations, whether it was original food or a character, basically all it went in. At this point, it gets a little harder to explain the process because while I've pulled all the information out for me to work with, now we start going into the creative process. It's coming up with the recipes, it's copywriting, it's taking scenes and playing on them. I mean, I guess when you see the recipe names, it makes sense. It's like, yeah, that fits. But that is all part of the process. So you have everything from airport scramble to Woof and Good waffles. Even example, that's how I tied, why did I choose waffles? Eggo waffles are a very 90s food. And I'm like, okay, I wanted that in. And obviously, woof. Harry's Hot Paw Pockets. No wonder what that one is. Anyways, you can go through the book yourself. You can kind of look at them and go, yep, that makes sense. I can see why she did that. So I thought I would share an example. This is the easiest way to show the end result. Iron Grill cheese sandwiches. The publishers have made this one available online, so I know it's okay to share with you. So on the face of it, a good battle plan is to strike while the iron is hot. And Marv can assure you the iron certainly was hot and left an impact. These hot off the iron grilled cheese sandwiches will also leave you with a lasting impression, but it will be one of total warmth and comfort. Substitute the bread for a Tuscan loaf or ciabatta for an airy variation, and serve with a steaming bowl of tomato soup for a traditional and comforting combination. So anyways, that's an example. That is the brainstorm. There is a big gap that I can't really explain what happened because it all just kind of just comes out here. I thought I would share how the Unofficial Home Alone Cookbook was at least initially brainstormed. And then if you want to see the end result, obviously you guys have your own copies. You can have a flick through, but now you will know why there is a lot of 90s in here, as well as the Home Alone connections. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy the recipes. Basically, this is our childhood from me to you.